Today I am talking about getting out of a funk. That feeling when you're just going through the motions and you don't really know what to do with yourself. When you're just like, nope. I've got 8 strategies for getting your arse back in gear. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and I help you get organized, get motivated, and get out of a rut. Sometimes you're just plain uninspired. Nothing excites you. You just can't build up any enthusiasm about anything. But over the years, I have discovered a lot of things that help pull me out of the funk and get my head back in the game. Hopefully they can help you too. 1. Plan. Sometimes we get stuck in a rut because we feel like we have nothing to look forward to. It's all work and bills and dirty dishes. We feel stuck in an endless loop of laundry. Giving yourself something to look forward to, something to focus on, something to move towards can really make a big difference. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but maybe plan a weekend away or a night out without the kids or even a trip to the cinema. It's about taking control of your situation. Instead of just going through the motions, acting on autopilot, you are telling yourself how it's going to be. You're giving yourself something a little out of the ordinary to look forward to, even if it's just something small like trying out a new coffee shop. Plan your life instead of just letting it happen. 2. Quick wins. Very often, all we need is a little bit of a boost to feel like we're achieving something. When some goals and tasks take so long to complete, it can be easy to feel bogged down and like you're not really getting anywhere. That is when you need to step away from the bigger tasks and get yourself some quick wins. Look at your task list and pick out the shortest tasks. Then go do them, especially the ones that will only take 1 or 2 minutes but you've been putting off for a while. Those are the ones that will give you the greatest amount of satisfaction. Or take one of your bigger tasks and break it down into teeny tiny steps. Do the first one and you're on your way. And once you start feeling decidedly smug, you will probably want to continue your winning streak, so you will go look for other little things to do. Funk well and truly forgotten. 3. Do a brain dump. If you've got too many things floating around your head, it's time to get them down on paper. Find yourself some uninterrupted time and start scribbling down every task and idea that's on your mind. This is not the time for editing or holding back, just get everything down on the page. Visually being able to see everything makes it so much easier to evaluate everything. Find something that stands out to you and then go do it. 4. Brainstorm. If you've got the opposite problem and you just can't think of anything decent to do, then have yourself a little brainstorming session. If there is a project that you're working on that has stalled, or maybe an idea that you have but you don't know how to approach it, maybe a good routine you want to get into, whatever it is, write it down on a page and then start adding words or phrases, thoughts, questions, doodles. Again, it's not about editing, just write down random things and get those juices flowing. Eventually, you will stumble on something promising. If you genuinely have nothing to focus on and you feel completely adrift, here is an interesting exercise that may help. Pick a random word, either off the top of your head or just look around you. Open a book or a magazine. The first word that jumps out at you, use that. As above, just start adding random words and phrases around it in a word association mind map sort of thing. Eventually, your brain will happen across something interesting. 5. Write your story. Bear with me on this one. Anytime I feel particularly unmotivated or like nothing is going the way I want it to, I sit down and I write out how, ideally, the next day is going to go. I write it in the present tense. So, for example, I wake up after a good night's sleep feeling refreshed and energized. I shower and get dressed into stylish, comfortable clothes. I prepare and eat a healthy, filling breakfast, etc. I literally write the story of my day from start to finish, making it as detailed as I possibly can, imagining and visualizing every single step along the way, how I want to be, how I want to feel, and what I want to get done. That way, in my head, I am already preparing for it. I'm already in that positive frame of mind, and when I wake up the next morning, all I have to do is remember my narrative and just try follow it as best I can. Sometimes just sitting down and telling yourself exactly how you want things to be can make a huge difference. It gets you in the right headspace and you start problem solving and subconsciously figuring out how to make it happen. I think we have a lot more control over our minds than we think we do, and just telling ourselves how we want to be and how we want to act can be enough to make it happen. 6, get inspired. We all have our favorite inspirational quotes or motivational movies, or maybe it's a specific song that gets you all fired up. The problem is that we overutilize them to the point that they lose their effect. So pick things that resonate with you, but then save them for special occasions. I'm not saying don't allow yourself to get inspired on a regular basis. I'm just saying save the big guns for the deep roots. I have a video that I watch whenever I need a proper kick up the arse. It's called Unbroken. I've spoken about it before. I will link it below. I only watch it once every few months, but because of that, every time I do, it gives me the big boost that I need. Inspiration is everywhere. If you don't already have something in your life that just generally makes you happy, then go out and find it. Made a fool of myself. It might be a quote or a book or even something like a walk in nature. Make it your mission to find at least one great source of inspiration and then save it up and use it sparingly. 7, meditate. We're so bombarded by outside noise and the demands and pressures of society that it can be difficult to figure out what we want just for ourselves. When my daughter was younger and I was feeling particularly overwhelmed by the demands of motherhood and pretty down about my perceived lack of identity, I took some time out. I sat down in silence and asked myself what I really wanted out of life, what I wanted my life to be like. I was lucky enough to get my answer immediately, and shortly afterwards, I started my blog. But sometimes just sitting in silence and reflecting on a problem or asking yourself what you really want out of life can be extremely effective. Not what you think you should do, not what your mother is telling you to do, not what magazines are making you feel like you should do. Shut all of that out and just listen to what you want to do. You don't have to, sit cross-legged or close your eyes or any of that sort of stuff. It's just a matter of finding a quiet spot, getting comfortable, and then focusing your thoughts on one particular thing. I actually have a video that's kind of like a skeptic's guide to meditation. I will link it below. Check it out if you're interested. 8, have fun. Following on from the meditation thing, do something you want to do. Do it just for the fun of it. For shits and giggles. Make it something a little out of the ordinary, something special and even a little bit silly that you don't get to do all the time. Take off your shoes and run around the grass. Have a water balloon fight. Jump on a trampoline. Pop on your slippers and grab yourself a hot cocoa. Take something apart and put it back together. Whatever it is that makes your heart truly happy, whatever makes your soul sing. We get stuck in a rut because we're sick of doing the same things day in, day out. We feel trapped by routine and monotony and responsibility. Schedule in some time to step completely outside of that. Shake up your days and you will shake yourself right out of that funk you've been feeling. What do you like to do when you find yourself in a bit of a funk? Let me know in the comments below. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I upload new videos every Thursday to help you live a simpler, happier, funk-free life. Until next time, Cura Mila Mahagwev, agus Becky Mishif Shigalua. Slán.